Good morning and welcome back to my channel, Blast from the Past Farming. Today's episode is going to be washing up all my old tractors, and then maybe lining them all up and do a little tutorial on them. Right now I've got the 560. Got the loader raised way up so I can get the tractor nice and clean. And then I've got my 1956 Farmall 350 out already to get washed. Now I'll flip the camera here. And the other tractors are all up there in that shed. So we'll get the washing and I'll catch up with you. Well, I've got 3 out of the 9 tractors rinsed off. All I'm trying to do is get all the dirt and dust off of it and occasional bird poop when the sparrows accidentally get locked in the shed. I think they get mad and they purposely target the tractors for locking them in there. So back to washing some more. Now I've got 5 of the tractors washed, but I still got 4 more to go. 756 to 5088 Farmall C and the Farmall M to get cleaned up yet. Then I'll do a little tutorial on them. It's getting muggy out. I'm sweating. Had to take that little sprayer off the back of the Super C. It was empty, so I had to rinse it out a couple times and take it off and put it over by the garage for storage. Have it all drained out. This tractor I got to leave the mower on yet because I need it 2 more times yet this year, and I'm not going to unhook it since I don't need the tractor for anything else. Now back it up, wash it up. Well, I'm back. Got my tractors all lined up here. Got them all washed off, rinsed off, and grabbed me some lunch. But this is a 1947 Farmall H. I bought this off my landlord when he retired. That was back in 1989 when I bought it. It's a 1947. I did a major overhaul. Everything from the clutch forward, every bolt was taken apart on it. And I put 10/1000ths over pistons and sleeves in it, so it has 33.5 horsepower now. Then I plumbed up the hydraulics a little different. That way when I was using the pull type brush hog, I could control the up and down a lot easier. Put some new tires on it back then too, when I first took over farming back in 1989. Here's my last purchase, or one of my last purchase, 1948 Farmall C. My dad has one, or had one. God rest his soul. But it's out at the family farm yet. My youngest brother has it. He'd like to restore it. It's still in its working clothes. Found a receipt that this motor's been overhauled back in 2003. And it's basically been parading the whole time after that. Have a bracket there for the flag. It has a mirror on it. Had to put a new tire on the other side. It had such deep cracks in it, especially along the bead, and then going from the bead to the tread, different spots. It was really deep cracks, so I just put a new tire and tube on her after I bought it. So that's a 48. This is a 1949 Farmall M with the 9-speed. I've done a few videos already. Did a road trip with it a week and a half ago with it over to the other farm. Still kind of dirty. Somebody didn't do a very good job washing. Have to fire them. And this has that 9-speed in it. This thing leaked really bad when I bought it. Both axle seals were leaking. the shaft going through where the clutch and the brake pedals was leaking. Both ends of the belly pump were. The input shaft going into the rear end. The PTO shaft was leaking. What else? Oh, this belt drive, the gasket and this seal right here was leaking. So now it doesn't leak anymore. Beautiful tractor. Dad had a 49, but didn't have the 9-speed. This is a 1952 Farmall Super C. Bought this back in 2009, I think. The difference between a Farmall Super C and the Farmall C is this has a 123 cubic inch engine, the other one's a 113. It sits about an inch taller between here. It has curved brake and clutch pedals, and it has disc brakes on it, where the Super C has straight pedals, band brakes, and a 113. There, now you can see the difference on it. And this sits right down on top of the hydraulics. And the Super C has a little taller radiator then too. But with both tractors, I put a Farmall H's standard drawbar on them. Since this has the hexagon and the notches, I could just put a spacer here and bring it up to extend out of the drawbar. And on the Super C, it's got the hexagon, but it doesn't have any notches here for drawbar. So I had the blacksmith cut. Well, I'll see if I can get a whole picture this way. There. Now you can see I've got little wedges on front, top and bottom, back and side too. Top and bottom, front and back. Then I just squeezed it tight and it worked real good. It got the right height for that drawbar to slide right out. It's a lot handier. And I put fenders on that one too. The M and the Farmall C didn't have fenders on it when I bought it. I had them put LED lights on this one. Had a mechanic change all the seals for me. So we went from a 47, 48, 49, 52. This is a 1956 Farmall 350 with fast hitch. It has the 13.6 38s on it. Don't know how many hours on it, but it's one of the first ones off the production line. They start at 501, and this one is number 999. This one I left it as a narrow front, and it has power steering also, and live PTO. This is the one I just did a video on about changing the brakes on it. This is a 1958 Farmall 350. They only made them for 2.5 years. And this one I put a wide front on it. It had a 3-point hitch on it. So I found me a fast hitch and put the fast hitch on it. And it's got live PTO. And I put a little extra oil reserve right here for like lifting wagons up. And I can't remember what number this is. This number is 16,459. And if I remember, they only made a little over 17,000 of them total. So I got one of the first Farmall 350s and one of the last Farmall 350s. And whoever I bought it from earlier instead of bending brackets to put an alternator on, he had cut a hole in here, and then afterwards he patched it. So if I ever get filthy rich, I'd like to repaint both of these Farmall 350s. Don't know if that'll ever happen, but it's always a goal. Here's my 1962 Farmall 560. This is the one I had overhauled, what was it, 2 years ago? I have a video out on it, combining beans with my wife driving it. And that was right after I got her out of the shop from a out of frame overhaul. Everything done on the engine. That tractor has 4,667 hours. That Farmall 350 only has 4,200 and, oh, let me go look. 4,234. And that Farmall 350 came out of Maine off a potato farm. Boy, that thing stunk forever from insecticide spraying. But like I said, this is a 1962 Farmall 560. Put brand new tires on it last fall. One blew out, and 2 days later, the other one was, you can see the inner tube. Put the loader on this tractor during the summertime, but in the wintertime, it's on that tractor. I made these brackets for the loader. That loader is made for front wheel assist tractors. And I needed that because when I do things, it's usually a domino effect. I added air conditioning to this tractor, and the original wraparound frame wouldn't go around here, so I sold that WL40 loader and bought the Westendorf TA46. Had these brackets, and then I modified it to raise it up higher yet, and made all these other brackets here to bring it up higher. This tractor probably has 7,500, around there, hours, 7,500 to 7,600 hours on it. When I bought this tractor off at that time, my landlord back in '89, it had a 291 gas motor in it. And I ran it till, I think it was the fall of '93. Somewhere in there, and the motor got really bad, just burning oil. So then I went and got a German 310 out of a 715 combine, some engine rails, and this bell housing, and the fuel tank, and a friend of mine swapped it all out for me. I don't know how many hours were on that engine, but it ran for 17 years. Put quite a few hours on it, and then I can't remember what year it was, but I ended up putting a German 358 out of a 1420 combine in it, and it was supposed to have been a good motor. Well, it needed overhaul, so I didn't gain nothing, but that's a 358 German in her now. I added air conditioning to it, but it makes it a lot more bearable. Not going to take the mower off quite yet. I have to mow the roadsides 2 more times. Homemade rock box. And this is a homemade front end bracket for a WL40 Westendorf loader. All I gotta do is pick that up and carry it off of there. And that's a 71. Yeah, 1971. This is a 1982 International 5088, and it turned over 5,900 hours this spring. when I changed the oil. It's the last series of International Harvester, and in '85 is when they kind of went belly up, and Tenneco ended up by it, so it was J.I. Case or something like that. So then it became Case International Tractors then after that. I like running the old girl. So yeah, that's my newest tractor, and my oldest one is 77 years old. That's a 9-foot 3-point disc mower. Took a long time to get them all washed up. This is what you see when you're driving this tractor, and they all have their own distinct engine sounds. I don't know if that would come across the phone or not. So yeah, that's what you would see driving down the road or down the field, whatever. Added some hydraulics to this girl. Yeah, when these tractors came out, they thought they had the world by the butt. And I'll still take these old tractors over the newer ones. That's a Super C. That was the M. The 350 is basically the same. So this is a 56. That's a 58. And this is where I would be if I was a tractor, right between them. I'm a 57 model. Get up here in the shade. Do a little zoom. The only tractor I would truly love to have would be a Oliver 1750 diesel with a Waukesha 310 in it. When I was a hired man up in northern Iowa, I put tons and tons of hours on that tractor. I just love that tractor. That'd be my only other tractor I would like to add to my little collection or herd. I don't know if I bought one, if these guys would let it join the herd or not. Internationals, they're all friendly. Well, thanks for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe and like, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.